What's going on, guys? Lucas here on behalf of Niagara Kayak Rentals, and today we're going to teach you how to flatwater kayak.
Alright guys, just quickly we're going to go through a very quick list of a couple of things we're going to need for this exercise today. Sun hat. We're going to have a paddle with us today. My paddle's a 230. Some people do like a shorter paddle, like maybe a 220 is pretty short for flatwater paddling. And then we can get upwards of 240, 260 if you're a big, massive person. We got the PFD. So this one's super adjustable. We also have a water bottle. And then our boat. This boat here is a Perception Dancer. What is this thing? Like maybe 10 feet long. And this is actually a 90s whitewater boat, but I can still teach you the basics of flatwater paddling. Another useful piece of equipment, of course, which I forgot to mention because I'm wearing them, is a pair of sunglasses. If it is sunny out there, these will totally save your life as the sun reflects off the water and it's very hard to escape when you are out there. So keep in mind, if you are going for a first-time paddle, that hopefully you're in a light touring boat. This is basically a boat that's just flat, wide, and stable. Typically the openings for the cockpits are much larger, so way easier to get in and out of. And then if you were in a situation where we're going to roll your boat or flip over, you're practically just going to fall out into the water. So this is going to be a little different today. Right in my backyard I have the Indian River. So a nice, kind of wind-sheltered river, moves at a very slow speed, nice and calm, perfect for an introduction. You want to make sure you're not going out on a big open lake or a body of water with rapids or currents, probably for your first time. Could be a little aggressive, could probably turn you off the sport. So make sure either that the weather's cooperating. If you are going out on a lake, it's nice and calm, not too much wind. Alright guys, for first time paddling, one thing I do always like to start with is what we can call our paddle stance or our paddle posture. So the first thing I like everyone to do is we'll pick up our paddles, just follow along with me, it's just going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to start by evenly spacing our arms out on both sides of the paddle. Now there is a center notch in the middle of this two-piece paddle here, so if we're able to locate and find this little center notch, what we're going to do with that is quickly, we're going to bring that up, we're going to touch it to our nose. From here we're going to push the paddle straight up, and we're going to drop it down on top of our heads. The next step is we're going to slide our arms down a little bit so that we create a nice 90-degree box with our arms and elbows. From here, once we have that set, we're going to take that, drop that down in front of us. This is just a good frame of reference if you're ever feeling kind of lost or lopsided on your paddle, not sure where you're at, just to get you nice and square, nice and centered. Another very important thing is we want to make sure that the little stickers on the blades of the paddle ideally are always face back facing us. We always say scoop like a spoon, so just make sure that we can read these little indicators. The next thing we're going to go over, guys, is the forward stroke. So this is what's going to get our boat tracking and moving nice and straight today, but we're going to start by pushing the blade of our paddle kind of way out in front of ourselves on one side, so a nice big long extended reach. From here, we're going to be fully submerging the blade of the paddle down into the water, making sure that when we do this, the blade of the paddle is nice and straight up and down, so that as it's entering the water, we're getting a nice full scoop out of the blade. If the paddle does hit the water on any kind of an angle, we're going to end up kind of slicing through the water, not efficiently propelling ourselves. So very important to make sure that the blade of that paddle is straight up and down when it's first entering the water. So again, we're going to extend, we're going to submerge the blade of that paddle. From here, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to pull with our bottom hand, as well as push with our top hand, and then as the blade kind of comes to our side, we're going to pull it up out of the water, except for the next paddle stroke on the next side.
Good tip is to always keep your hips, your lower body nice and loose, nice and relaxed. People are only ever tippy or jerky when they're very tense.
So the next thing we're going to go over is just some basic steering techniques. So the easiest way to get our boat steered is just forward stroke on the left-hand side of my boat. This is going to allow the nose of the boat to sweep over to the right and vice versa. So just paddling on the right-hand side of the boat is going to get the nose of the boat sweeping over to the left. What we want to do is start with the blade of the paddle a little bit closer to the boat, and then as the paddle's coming back towards us, we want to act like we're drawing kind of invisible C's on the water. So submerging that blade, and as opposed to just pulling a little bit closer, we're actually going to push it out a little bit further to the side. So for example, a few big sweeping strokes just on the right-hand side is going to get the nose of the boat veering over to the left. A few big sweeps just on the left-hand side is going to get the nose of the boat veering over to the right. Nice even strokes on the left and right-hand side are going to keep our boat tracking and moving nice and straight. Now because I'm in an old whitewater boat, this boat isn't going to track perfectly straight. And let's say, for example, we want to get the nose of the boat veering over to the right from here. What we're going to do is just nice sweep strokes just on the left-hand side of the boat. That's going to get the nose of the boat veering over to the right. Alright, nice. We want to get the nose of the boat turning over to the left. What I'm going to do is repeatedly forward stroke with those sweep strokes just on the right-hand side, and I'm able to flip my direction 180 degrees. Now, another steering technique we can go over today is what we call the rudder stroke, or your J stroke. So this is when we're using the blade of our paddle, we're dragging it off the back of the boat on either the right or the left-hand side of the boat to get the nose of the boat veering in one direction. So let's say, for example, we got some forward momentum, we're moving, we're paddling left, right. Let's say, for example, we want to make a steering correction to the right. What I'm going to do is when I'm ready, I'm going to twist the core of my body to the right, making sure that when I do this, I keep the shaft of my paddle in line with my torso. The next thing we're going to do from here is we're going to submerge the blade of the paddle down into the water off the right-hand side of the boat, making sure that just the blade of the paddle is being submerged. We don't need to submerge too much of the shaft, so just the blade of the paddle. Another very important thing is we want to make sure that the blade of the paddle is kicked out on roughly like a 45-degree angle off the back of the boat. If we have the paddle too flat to the boat, it's not going to do much for us in terms of steering. And if it's out at our side, it's going to act more as a brake. So again, stressing that we have it kicked out on a bit of a 45-degree angle. So moving along, we're going to twist the core of the body. We're going to submerge the blade of that paddle. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to hold the blade of the paddle under the water in a stationary position. And by dragging the paddle off the right-hand side of the boat like so, the nose of the boat is going to sweep over to the right. And essentially it's the same thing if we're to drag off the left. So we're going to twist, drop, and hold, and that's going to get the nose of the boat veering over to the left. Let's do a couple things. I would highly recommend that for a first-time paddle, if you haven't paddled before, that you do go with either an instructor or a tour guide or someone at least who's been in the water a few times, kind of knows their way around a kayak. Once the nose of your boat is pointed in the direction that you like, just jump back in on your forward stroke, and you'll be able to keep moving. When shoring the boat, make sure that if you're out alone or with other paddlers, maybe if they paddled before, they can get up out of their boat first and then help assist and kind of pull you up and out. If not, just paddle at the shoreline with some speed, lean back a little bit, and hopefully half of your boat will get itself up on the shore, making it pretty easy for you to jump up and out of the boat. I was going to say, I'm kind of bored of hearing myself talk. That's pretty much about all I have to say. Hopefully I covered most, if not all, of what you were not even sure you were going to hear. Leave comments below, and subscribe if you want.